I'm Benjamin Paloff, and I am going to read a few poems, about 5 poems, from this book called Lodgings, Selected Poems of Andrzej Sosnowski, which has just been released by Open Letter Press. Uh, Sosnowski is one of the most exciting, interesting poets in Central Europe right now, and this is the first representative collection of his work in English translation. I'm going to start with a poem called "What is Poetry?" It is a response to a poem of the same name from John Ashbery's collection, Houseboat Days. Sure, it's no strategy for survival, nothing to live on. Your obstinacy is laughable as you recall the enchanted lakes, the rustling woods and hushed caverns where a voice echoes out vividly and has for centuries. Sibyls? What matters is leaves, then maybe the rhyme of voice and choice, since voices press against the world, and choice is that which does not entrust names to leaves. Just you try to catch them. Try to touch the ground and fly farther like a flat stone over water. How many times? 5? 12? A sequence of poems and reflections, a sequence of leaves, and anyway all the stones and leaves lie one beside the other according to an ancient order, their forms unclear. Then there's the cavern, or the teeny room, but that gust, the draft as you open the door and the wind disperses the leaves, and the world rears up, and the words come like a sprinkling of confetti. But don't give us the stink eye. Don't head out a sourpuss, not yet. No need to regret delay, for maybe it will sing. Perhaps it will suddenly say what people and wars are like, travels and travails, how things stand, what news. This poem is called The Walk Ahead. Did you deserve the highfalutin fiction of this life sans fact, this gadfly sense? The megaphones at dusk announce secrets, words of mountains over which no sun will break, and in the mounting din you catch the orchestras of carnival processions. Jugglers and clowns move into the main arteries. Bells and cymbals ring like a hail of mayflies. And the heart does an about-face, and the mind breaks ranks as the world darkens in your eyes, which then take flight, flustered, nestled beneath their lids, or hide under the bushes of your brows, because enough already, enough. When am I going to stop falling into these worlds? When you rein it in and start living hand to mouth, when you give these crippled landscapes a try, look out the corner of your eye, collect the scraps of roadside business, find the point, and from that point on, denature your post. Then you can take a walk with pockets full of cash and perfumed handkerchiefs, just in case. And now you step into evening as if onto the high road, and in the darkness the air is growing thick with phantoms. Their voices pulsate like frogs croaking, the tremendous hymn of mosquitoes. This poem is called A Song for Europe. A rainbow? 14 years since anyone's seen one, which means the end of the world, or something like that. Don't hunker in a bunker. When love is most literally a magic that divides life into pleasure and loss, as a mermaid trims memory before the air raid of reminiscence, we are in Germany, on the border with France. A dream arises about intercontinental war. The nocturnal emissions of factories, embers, dissonance, and the style of this history is so elusive you have to drive the poem down this track, then that one, if it's to make it into the hands of its unknown addressee. It was never like that. Yes, it was. Will you be? A strange tryst, the emerald around your neck and the shadow on your eyes, a smile or a black armband for the passing of a word. An emerald, that you might not stare into the death within you, that the poem might approach you like a shadow and cover your eyes. This poem, a shadow cast over truth, from the depths of a tear, a splinter of light, the spot of glass that concludes the conversation of broken mirrors. Be this glass when it's all over, in the silence of all clear. Weren't we cruel, embarking so lightly on this dark life, not a word when you pulled the ground out from under me and the sky broke down in snow? Love is not this word nor any other. The poem declares it like blitzkrieg. This poem is called Close Reading. So the fire forced us into the middle of the road. The clapper will give us the signal any minute. Come back, we gushed, and rushed onward, and now run for it, and down the hill like water on a mill wheel, out of breath, out of earth, if only to have something to dream of. It's as easy as a song, so much heart, such a move. But was it so polished and apparently polychromatic, the thread of days, calendar pages shining like exotic postage stamps in an album? Was this our fuse, my cockatrice? I'm afraid we have the fuses right here. I'm afraid, sir, we have a problem. Strike of the match. Hyena laugh, and the light blows up in your face. Boom. The crowd goes wild. The hero departs in an awful light, looking over the ruins of empire. There is a glow in the eyes of his beloved. And we are shining with absence, neon lights in an untidy aquarium. That sound, that drone, when did you start hearing it beneath the famous lullaby? Or perhaps you took it from on high that the background doesn't matter. And yet, even in sleep, you leave traces, and only some of them are entirely clear, like something that doesn't remind us of, or is not itself, blood. And I'm going to finish up with a poem called Pomona and Vertumnus. The stained glass wanton, the frescoes lecherous, ivy ironclad on the first floor windows. Don't think, Pomona, that I've made up this world, or Vertumnus, the spans of your reveries. Ivy ironclad on the first floor windows tells us that children have occupied the city, and Vertumnus, the spans of your reveries, are like the city smiling at the end of the street. They tell us that children have occupied the city. The fates of these children arouse no interest. They're like the city smiling at the end of the street on a sun-scorched, would-be rainy day. The fates of these children arouse no interest. Perhaps these children's children will already be gone on a sun-scorched, would-be rainy day, when time will somersault and night will fall. Perhaps these children's children will already be gone after the end of history on this colorful planet, when time will somersault and night will fall, and there'll be naughty night vision games all around. After the end of history, on this colorful planet, they'll have a perfect view of the cathedral spire, and there'll be naughty night vision games all around, in the shadow the syringe casts on the tunnel wall. They'll have a perfect view of the cathedral spire, the stained glass wanton, the frescoes lecherous, in the shadow the syringe casts on the tunnel wall. Don't think, Pomona, that I've made up this world. Again, the book is called Lodgings, Selected Poems of Andrzej Sosnowski, just out from Open Letter Press. Thank you.